Alright, so now that you have a pretty basic understanding of highlights and shadows, we're going to go ahead and do this assignment where we're going to create some water droplets. So for this assignment, all you're going to need is your black and white colored pencil and maybe a pencil sharpener. For some parts you're going to want a sharp pencil, but for most of the time you're going to want a dull pencil. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this assignment. So for now, you're just going to use your black colored pencil. So let's go ahead and first block in our shapes of our water droplets. So go ahead and start drawing these in. You can do whatever sizes you want. Do a few big ones, do a few small ones. Also, you can do some that are irregular. If they're not perfect circles, don't worry. You can do some irregular shaped water droplets like right there. And then let's do a few small ones. Alright, so I'm going to do about 5. That seems like a good number. So once you've blocked in your shapes of your water droplets, you're going to go ahead and set your black colored pencil to the side for now. Set it to the side for now, and then we're going to pull out our white colored pencil. So what we're going to do is first we want to determine where our light source is. So I'm going to choose that light source is coming from over here. Alright, so there's where our light is coming from. So from there we can judge where we're going to add our highlights or reflections. So we're going to go ahead and add a little reflection right there. And we're going to go ahead and add that to all of our water droplets. Now if you have one that's a little irregular like this, add that reflection, but then you can also kind of mold that reflection to the shape of your water droplet to make it a little bit more realistic. Alright, so we've added that, we've got our light source. Now we're going to add the other reflection or highlight, which is going to be down here. Now we went pretty intense on here, we made it pretty much pure white. You want to press fairly hard for these ones. But for down here, we're going to go a lot lighter, and we're just going to kind of blend in, or almost like we're shading in these highlights. Now this is where you want a dull pencil. Having a sharp pencil, it's going to look really rough. So make sure your pencil is a little bit duller for this part. Alright, so go ahead, put in these highlights here. Now if your guys isn't looking perfect or it's not looking realistic enough for you, don't worry. This is just your first assignment, and what you're going to do with this assignment is at the end of the course you can look back at this one and compare your work to what it is at the end of the course, so you can see your improvement. And this is just to see where you are in drawing and to help you understand highlights and shadows a little bit better. Alright. So there we go, we've added those in. So now you're going to put your white colored pencil to the side, pull out your black one. So now you can see it's starting to have a little bit more depth and form to it, but we're going to add the cherry on top and add our shadows now. So as you can see, my black colored pencil is a little bit sharp, so I'm just going to dull it down a little bit here, just because having a really fine point for this isn't going to look very good. So if yours is pretty sharp too, you can go ahead and do this. Alright, that's pretty good. So now what we're going to do pretty much the same thing we did down here, up here, but with the black. So we're going to very, very lightly start putting in this gray, this shadow. Also make sure you don't go over your little highlight, so it'll make it look really unrealistic, so make sure you stay clear of that and go around it. But it is okay if you get a little bit in the white around these edges here. Alright, we're going to do a little bit darker towards the edge of the water droplet. Then it's going to fade in here. Alright, so there you go. Once you've done that, go ahead and just add that to all the rest of your water droplets now. So you can see now the water droplets are starting to have a little bit more form and look more realistic and three-dimensional. With these little ones, make sure you don't get over that reflection. Right, and there you go. So now after that, we're going to come under here, and it's not on the water droplet, but right under it, we're going to add some shadow. Just so we can tell it's sitting on a surface, and this is going to give it some more form. So very lightly, add a little bit of shadow there. Perfect. So let's go ahead and add that to the rest of them. There we go. So our water droplets are starting to look a lot more put together. But now we're going to add one last reflection. So let's go ahead and bring our white colored pencil back, and we're going to add just a little reflection that's going through the water droplet and shining on the surface that it's on. So we're just going to take our white colored pencil and right under this black shadow, just kind of add some white and then just let it fade out just like that. Alright, perfect. So our water droplets are pretty much done now. They look pretty good. But let's go ahead back with our white colored pencil and just touch these up a little bit. Make our highlights a little bit stronger, especially towards the edge of the water droplet. Just add that. And then we'll do the same thing with the black. There we go. So now we'll do the same thing with the black. Let's go ahead and just make this a tad bit darker around the edge. Not too much. Make this a tad bit darker. We'll do the same for the rest that need them. Alright, and there you go, guys. There's your water droplets. So I hope this assignment really helped you guys to understand shadows and highlights a lot better. And we're going to be using highlights and shadows throughout the whole entire course, making our drawings look more realistic. So